Hey guys, and thanks for joining me today. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. It's great to have you here. And for those of you who are back, thank you for coming back. Always appreciate everybody coming over to join me so I'm not just talking to myself. So this is going to be the start of a new kind of series of where I'm trying to use up all my stuff. So I decided to make a completely random junk journal, so just made of actual junk mail, rubbish I got lying around my house. No kind of theme or anything like that. Just going to make a junk journal and kind of see how it turns out. So I'm just using an Amazon envelope for the cover, and I'm going to split it into two and probably make a couple. But for this one, I'm just going to start just with making one. They're roughly about the same size, like 6x6. Maybe one's more kind of on the 7x6 side. I don't really measure, but I have tried to for the sake of this, and I do point at the numbers on my ruler. So look closely and you can see how big it is. But yeah, so I've just used these Amazon envelopes are great because they're so strong, but they're quite thin, but they're good covers. So with that, I am going to grab a load of bits and pieces that I've got in my scraps and just kind of like collage and Mod Podge the cover together. So I'm probably so today you're not gonna get much satisfaction out of this video because I'm just kind of building the bones of it really. But over the kind of weeks I'll do it as part of my hashtag crafty whip weekends, where I continue to work on it. So if you want to join in on a crafty whip weekend, then all you have to do is tag me on either Instagram or YouTube with the hashtag crafty whip weekend and grab your works in progress and just make something, finish something off. It can be anything you're doing at all. Doesn't have to be paper craft, doesn't have to be junk journal related, could be making jewellery or other beadwork or something like crochet, whatever you do. Just some opportunity to go, oh yeah, I'm just going to finish this work in progress, and I'll tag Amethyst Raven 342 in my video or photo on Instagram. So yeah, I am just messing about with this now, trying to figure out what to do, and I've just gone to grab some scraps. So these are all the bits and pieces and scraps I'm going to go through. I'm not going to use them all, but these are my options, and I'm just showing you what I've grabbed. Some of them's a bit Christmassy, a bit wintry, so I probably won't use those. This is a bit of handmade paper that I made with bits of plants in it. Not going to use that, it's very thick. I went through a phase of making loads of handmade paper. So there's bits of plain paper that I just scribbled on. There's bits of stuff out of garden books. There's all these embossed pages when I was doing a bit of embossing with my folders. That's avocado paper that I embossed. Some more kind of leaflets and stuff. When I stay in hotels, I try and pick up some leaflets and flyers and things, and they've got the big kind of stand with all the stuff that you can do. And I work in Edinburgh. I don't live in Edinburgh, I live in the southwest of England, but my office is in Edinburgh, so I go up there once in a while and have to stay over. And so I always like to grab some bits because there's lots of pretty places in Scotland. So I've got this bit of yellow paper, which I think was off of a bunch of flowers, sort of crumpled up, and I've got my Mod Podge, and I'm just gonna pour some out because I'm very messy, and if I just tried to get it straight out of the bottle, then I would make a mess. So I'm just going to cover this, do some Mod Podging, do a bit of gluing. Loki has just got up. He was fast asleep next to me, but now he's noticed something, so he might tell us about it in a minute. If it's a squirrel, you will definitely hear him talk about it. He's huffing and puffing. Maybe it's a magpie. He doesn't like the magpies. They mock him. They shout at him they laugh at him, and he doesn't like it. And that's a shame because we do get a lot of magpies. A lot of magpies and a lot of squirrels. No, his boys come back. So I'm just sticking this bit of yellow paper down, getting glue all over my hands in the process. And I'm just getting one of these little bits out of one of those Scotland leaflets, and I found a nice bit of scenery, so I'm going to stick that on, and I'm just going over the edge a little bit, and then when it's all dry, when we come back another time, I'll fold it all over and do the inside. So today we're literally going to be doing the outside of this and getting these signatures together for 2 lots of journals, because actually it turns out I collect quite a bit of paper that is way too much. So I split it into 6 signatures for 3 signatures per journal. So this is a bit of map of Scotland. That's pretty bit of landscape with a nice sky in it. And I hope you are all doing okay today, and I hope you've had a lovely week. Have you all entered my 100 subscriber giveaway yet? If not, go and find that video that I put on the 9th of February. And if you want to win, you can just leave me a comment on that video and I will enter you into the giveaway, which I'll do the draw on the 1st of March. So I'm just putting some of this embossed avocado paper on now, and it's got those rung marks from the like scorch marks from when I dried it in the oven. A bit more of it over there. And now I'm just putting a layer of Mod Podge over, because I like doing that on a paper cover, because it just gives it a bit of extra protection for a start, but it also gives it a bit of more movement, and it gives it a bit of a what am I trying to say? A bit of bounce. I don't know. A bit more of a kind of a leathery feel, a bit more security, I guess. So what I will do is I'm doing it. This is literally as much of the cover as I'm doing at the moment. When I've actually finished the book, then I'll try and find some sort of focal point to put over the top of it. Not over the entire top, but to give it a bit of interest on the front. So now I've just gathered a load of bits of paper together, and I'm folding those up to make my signatures out of. I'm not really, I don't care too much about what's on the bits of paper, and I will be cutting them down, but if when they go in, they're nice, and there's a nice bit of scenery or a bit of words or something, then I will keep it. And if not, I will just cover it over with other stuff. Make pockets or journaling space and things. I decided not to use that bit of wrapping paper in the end because it's too scrumbled up and I couldn't be bothered to flatten it out. Some of it's like letters that I got in the post, like when we had like election time and things. So they're like letters from our local councillors and stuff, which I tend not to bother reading because let's not talk about politics, please. So just some more bits and pieces out of magazines and things. This is a bit of baking paper. I love the way that sounds, and I like putting slices of baking paper in as pages in my junk journals. Then I've put quite a bit of like just plain paper in there as well, in various sizes, just to give me a blank canvas, really. I can do what I want with it then. And there'll be all different sizes, the pages, all different widths and lengths and things. This one I've done into like a triangle shape, just to give it a bit of a different shape. Let me know what you guys are currently up to and whether you're trying to use your stuff up. I think everyone's kind of on a using up their stuff mission at the moment. I try and sell some of my things on Vinted, and you have to print out the shipping label, and I've always got like half of a bit of paper left over that says you have to print off the shipping label, but you've got to print the whole thing. Such a waste. So just random leaflets, random junk mail of varying levels of thickness as well. So some are like newspaper thickness, some are more kind of cardstock. This is a lorry. I thought I'd just drive across the screen. So yeah, you're not going to get a great deal of, like I say, a great deal of satisfaction out of this video, but it gives the beginning of the process, and I thought I would share it with you as kind of a whole journey, really, to see, so you can see what I've used and what sort of junk we get, or what sort of junk I bring home from hotels. So this is it on its kind of tallest level. So then I'm going to split them into their piles. So I do piles of three piles originally, because I'm going to do 3 signatures in the first journal. And then I counted one of the piles and I think it had about 21 bits in it. So then I just split it into 6. So that's my 3 piles, and then I'm going to split them up into 2 each again. And hopefully I've kind of left myself with a kind of equal amount of different types of paper, so plain paper, thin paper, thick paper, etc. And then I'm just going to hold them all together with one of them things. One of those little kind of crocodile clips, I don't know what it's called. Some of the pages are ripped and some of them are like just all sorts of shapes, and that's fine because I'm going to cut them down anyway, but also I can add things, I can do tip-ins, I can make them into little features. So I've just tried not to think about it at all, really, and just shove stuff down. I don't know why that says celery on it. I think it was for a game we were doing for a quiz. And so now I'm just going to measure these. I end up measuring them like just trying to do it easily and doing them 6 by 6 and then cutting them down to 6 by 6. So some of them it cuts off quite a bit of the top, which I just will shove back in my scraps. And then when I've finished using all this, my scrap pile has not gone down at all. How is it that we accumulate so many scraps and then make so much stuff and then never get rid of the scraps? Using my Stanley knife, it's probably not as sharp as it was. I do have a scar from the first day that I bought that Stanley knife. That was, slipped. It slipped and it was very, very sharp. So be careful if you are using sharp blades, and that is why my videos are not made for children. Well, that's one of the reasons why. So I'm just making them nice and square. And although I've put them in signature form, like I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the first page or anything like that. I might move them around a little bit when I actually come to sew them in, but that's a problem for future me. Yeah, I think most of that lovely couple there are going to get chopped off in a minute. Apologies. See, that's just a bit of newspaper. Honestly, we get so much stuff through the door. But I can't talk because, like I say, a lot of it I've brought home as well from places. Let me know where you get most of your scraps from. Is it purely like junk mail, or is it because of you've printed off digitals and you've just kept that, or is it stuff that you've actually brought home, or things that your friends see that they thought would be useful to you? I really like it when people do that, when people because it means that you've crossed their mind and they say to you, oh, I saw this and I thought I'd just give it to you. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just nice that they were thinking of you. So I'm just cutting this down, cutting this old lady's head off, sorry. Sorry, old lady. She may or may not get thrown in the bin, I can't remember. So I don't make you watch me do all 6 of them. But here we go, so this is my 6, what will be my signatures. So 2 lots of 3 for each journal. And I'll be back again with the next section of this journal soon. So please like and subscribe and see you soon. Bye.